Hey everyone, how's it going today? And welcome back to another second stimulus check and second stimulus package unemployment benefits extension update. I hope everyone hopefully has been having a relatively great weekend so far, or at least certainly hanging on or surviving, or is having a great transition into the start of the week if you guys are watching when the week is starting. But basically, we have really great news to be able to share with you guys. Some of you guys may have already heard, but basically we have officially reached an agreement in regards to the world of the second stimulus check, second stimulus package, and unemployment. Now, we don't yet have a full approval. We do have an agreement. There is a little bit of a slight difference, and I want to touch up on a little bit about that and also where we stand. So we're going to get started right away. But before we begin, make sure you smash the like button in light of this really great news that I'm about to tell you guys, and I technically already just did, but basically I will tell more to you guys. Feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about anything, and consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification button for future updates on stimulus, especially over the next couple of days with a lot of news, hopefully once they finally approve it, and then also the rest of the procedures like how to get your actual stimulus. If you guys are interested, consider subscribing. But we're gonna start right away. So the story is that over this weekend, and even right now as we're speaking and onwards, they have been literally meeting up almost every single waking hour. I mean, this literally feels like if you've ever, were ever in high school or college when you're trying to cram for that final exam and you're staying up till some kind of 2 a.m. They probably stayed up to about 11 to midnight, just something very late. I know that they were very up late, but basically it was literally just reported on the news, I think starting about midnight, 1, 2, 3 a.m. all the way until this morning, and it's still continuing on, is that they've literally been talking over and over about trying to finally reach the compromise. The great news is that they have finally officially reached a compromise in terms of what they really want in the stimulus checks and the stimulus package, certainly at least with the main negotiating team. The last hurdle that they were really trying to solve was really about the Federal Reserve spending. If you want the quick summary to what that basically means, all it really is that basically every single state government, or in this case the feds, there's a certain amount of money, and then there's a lot of like written verbal in terms of how they can physically use that money, the lending aspect of it. All that really is that basically Senator Pat Toomey is kind of like, I predicted it in the last video, sadly it became true, but it shouldn't be a surprise, but basically Senator Pat Toomey, he wanted to do something with regards to the Federal Reserve that was going to make it so that it would be more difficult for Biden to basically do a lot of different, let's just say, to do a lot of the things that he would want to do when he takes over as the president. They finally kind of worked out those matters. They worked out most of the verbal aspect. So I believe that right now as this time, the bill is officially written and ready. So my audio just cut, but basically, so we don't have the full details right now, but we likely will. But the great news is at least it exists out there. I believe right now, according to a lot of sources, it's probably going to be $300 unemployment, and it's going to be $600 stimulus checks. In terms of who qualifies, we're still trying to wait for the official details, but I think the general idea from here is that they have at least reached some kind of compromise. They just have to vote. And I guess that's one of the differences between the agreement and the approval, is that they have officially reached some kind of agreement and compromise, but they still have to actually physically bring it to the floor and hope that everyone says yes. So we don't know what they're going to say, but one thing that we do know is that the great news is that because the deadline, so at least we have a finite timeline for them to do something, is going to be the end of today. That basically means, I believe they mentioned that something from 1 p.m. to midnight in those next couple of waking hours as we're speaking, that they're going to at least have to vote for something. Now, whether they say yes or not, that's just something that we have to kind of wait and see, and we have to kind of get their answer. But at least that's what's going on. I do believe, though, they do say one thing, though, is that there's no guarantee it's going to be a yes. It's looking likely that it will. However, there are still, for example, a couple of politicians, I think like Bernie, Hawley, and I believe even Trump actually, that's still trying to somewhat try to preach for the $1,200 stimulus checks. They maybe will try to just bring it up on the voting floor when they finally get there, or maybe they realize, well, I guess it's time to compromise, and maybe they'll shake hands and say yes. So what they do, we're gonna have to wait for that, but definitely subscribe so you guys can get updated about that. So that's what I really wanted to share with you guys. So basically, there's really great news. We likely will get a lot more details. Maybe I'll come on again later. If anything, I'll see you guys on Monday, and then basically that's how we're gonna transition and start the week into Christmas. But the great news is maybe we will actually have a Christmas after all, because there were some people that were making the joke about how this year we might have a case where how the Congress or Senate or House stole Christmas from us, or some kind of how the Mitch stole Christmas, which is kind of funny because Mitch semi kind of rhymes with Grinch a little bit, a stretch rhyme, but you know. But the great news is that we do have an agreement. We'll probably get more details. I'll share it with you guys as we come, maybe tonight, if not maybe tomorrow. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell notification button for future updates. Remember to smash the like button, and feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about anything at all, especially if you guys think that we should just finally just agree on it, sign it, and approve it, or if you guys think we should maybe still fight for the extra $1,200 stimulus checks. Just know that there is a deadline, and that deadline is tonight in terms of being able to finally sign or at least vote inside of the House. But then we still have to go to the Senate and the President. So that's what's going to be over the next few days. But we'll definitely cover that at all. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, stay warm, and have a great rest of the weekend.